Well,
From the
it's now
scrapyard
3:30 in
to
the
the
morning.
stars, we build our hot rods and racing cars. Racing legends come alive. In this metal we revive. From the track strip to the street, this addiction makes our life complete. Dragon drive ain't just for show, it's the pulse that makes us go. 780 speed and custom. 780 speed and custom.
On this episode of 780 Speed and Custom, I'm going to be interviewing my father, the man that got me into hot rods, fabrication, and car culture in general. We're going to be discussing his builds, what sparked his interest in hot rodding, what inspired his restorations, and cover some of the history of these amazing hot rods. Let's get into it. Okay, so I'll just start off with a bit of an introduction, and then we can dive into it. So, you have a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering from the University of Alberta. You're a father of four, husband, volunteer firefighter, recreational driver, and hot rodder. Of course, my father, Keith McElhenney. So, if it's all right with you, we'll just dive right into it. Curious to know where your love of hot rodding came from and what inspired you to build your first hot rod.
I guess as a kid I was curious about old vehicles. I liked the way they looked, and when I was working as an engineer in Edmonton, I had the opportunity to buy a 34 Ford two-door sedan, small block Ford Mustang 2 front end from a guy out west of the city. But I didn't like the way the front end was. It was too high. And I remembered that Pacemaker Automotive had a beautiful 34 Ford sedan delivery that they used to race. And I actually first saw that car in 1973 when a friend of mine and I were at the Can-Am races at the Edmonton Speedway. It was sitting across the field with the back door open and very nice stance, yellow at the time, and I thought, man, that looks very nice.
It is a beautiful car.
Sorry, what's
I
that?
said it is a beautiful car.
Yeah. So in my thoughts about the 34 two-door that I just bought, I got a hold of Pacemaker and asked them, if I could look at the car. Well, they had sold it to a guy that worked in their warehouse. I got a hold of him, and he wanted to sell it. So I took the big jump and bought that car, and eventually sold the two-door that I had.
So what kind of condition was it in when you bought it off the guy?
It was in primer, no engine, no transmission, wiring hanging there like a bird's nest, beat up bird's nest, and no interior, of course. I did snap a couple of pictures, eventually made a deal with the guy, and tried to work on it in the city, but of course I had no tools and really not a great garage to work in, so I ended up hauling it to the shop in Provost. And actually, I believe it was even Christmas Day I left.
Oh, really?
And loaded it up and brought it back. Yeah, so then I think it was about 3 years working on that. Had a little engine trouble at first.
So when Pacemaker raced it, do you remember what powertrain was in it? It was a...
They had a variety of powertrains. They had kind of a Frankenstein Buick motor, I think it was at one point, maybe like an Olds crank or something. It was a real stroker, but it could never stay together. And I think the deal was that Pacemaker would buy the parts, and one of the employees would race it and do the work on it.
Right.
And I think they finally got sick of that and put a 427 in it, and then I think eventually a 454, but I'm not sure about that. And with slicks, I believe it ran, well, it could have been the Buick, it ran in the 10s.
Yeah, I think I remember you telling me it was like a 10.6 or something was
Yeah,
its
something like that.
best
It would
time.
lift the wheels anyway and twist the frame. I think I had a picture of it with the driver's wheel about a foot off the pavement.
Yeah.
And the other one maybe 6 inches off.
Yeah, they're not really built for that. But
No.
so then when you built it initially, you had a 454 in it, correct?
454, yeah, turbo 400. And I had a Detroit locker with 433 gears in it. But first gear would last about 3 feet. Not great on the street. And then if there was any bit of moisture or frost or anything on the road, and you touch the gas going around a corner, you were going around.
Yeah.
So I soon took that out and just put a regular differential in it.
It still has the same diff from when Pacemaker made it, or?
It has the same housing, but
Housing.
it's got a 300 posi in it right now.
And you've since rebuilt the car, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was 2010, 2011 when our dollar was par. I pulled the trigger on putting a 502 in it, Ramjet 502, Hyde Super Ride front end, and of course the Hydes come with a Willwood brake, so I put the Willwood discs on the back. And yeah, great improvement to handling. What the front end actually was, it sat nice, but there was a lot of feedback from the road. It was a Corvair front end with Chevelle spindles and discs and a MGB rack and pinion.
Yeah, and I remember that growing up, you'd hang on to the wheel and you'd be...
About 100 kilometers an hour was just, yeah.
Yeah, the Hydes has definitely cleaned that up.
Yeah, it's a lot nicer now, and it's a standard rack, and you can, if you're moving, you can almost palm it turning.
Yeah,
so
it's actually quite
very
nice to steer.
yeah.
You don't really notice that it's not power steering.
No,
No
and
power.
it's got standard brakes as well, and I find them just fine. It stops real well, and
Yeah.
simple is wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of room under that hood anyway.
No, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so so I guess besides Pacemaker, the car is slightly famous, not really. It's been in 1 or 2 movies?
One movie.
1 movie. It didn't make the cut on the second one. Because he had that movie that was shot in town. I don't know if it made the parade or not.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I guess it didn't. There was a parade, but
I don't think it made the cut. So, I guess the first movie it was in, you didn't own it then. That's when Pacemaker.
That's right, yeah.
had it still.
And that was just a
This movie's
cameo appearance on
yeah.
on the was on the hoist in the Pacemaker shop, and I
Yep.
think it was just a shot of it there.
Yeah, the camera kind of pans across, and
They
you
had
see it up
blacked
on
out the
hoist.
panel because it had gold Pacemaker Automotive on the panel, gold
Yep.
leaf,
Yeah, and it was
center lines on it. Yeah,
kind of a brown color.
brown. Yeah,
I'll throw that picture up here.
two-tone
but
brown. Yeah,
It was movie's Fast Company, 1979.
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I actually have a copy of that.
yeah. Same.
Yeah.
One of our fellow street riders had a copy of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was your first hot rod, and you drove that throughout university.
Yeah, we went to one of the first road trips was the Banff Rod Run, touring tin. And 34 Ford sedan delivery is pretty rare. But as I'm driving in, there was a guy from Saskatoon looking at me, and I was looking at him. He had a maroon 34 Ford sedan delivery sitting there. He couldn't believe his eyes, and I couldn't believe mine.
Yeah, I think I've seen 2 other sedan deliveries in my life.
Yeah.
Both in storage, not on the road. So definitely a rare sight.
Yeah, we drove that in '85. We drove that down to the Minnesota Street Rod National event. There was a few guys from Lloyd went. That year, the Canadian Street Rod Nationals were in Regina, so we went to that, and then we carried on and went to St. Paul with the group, and I think there was 6,500 cars, it seems to me, there.
Smokes.
And there was 6 or 8 sedan deliveries, 34 Ford sedan deliveries, which was a pretty big number, I thought. But
6,500 cars, though, you'd have to look all day to find them.
yeah,
And I guess, correct me if I'm wrong here too, your first date with my mother
yeah,
was in the
actually,
34.
Yeah, I think we went to the drive-in in Macklin, our first date. Yeah, and then
Vintage drags too.
and then the vintage drags later on. Yeah, that was September long weekend for a number of years. Great event, but I think things got too expensive insurance-wise and so on, at the track, and that ended.
Yeah, and that was that would have been SAR, Saskatchewan International Raceway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good
Great
track.
bunch
still
of
around.
guys in Saskatoon, and the event kind of carried on at one guy's acreage for many years after, and it's been toned back a little bit, but it's still
kind of
happening.
goes. Yeah, it still kind of goes
Still
on.
kind of happening. Yeah.
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 So then, one obviously wasn't enough.
Well, I had the 41 pickup before, but that was actually, I cut trees down in 1967 to get it out of the bush, and it was south of Lloyd. And I always really liked the look of the 41 pickups, and hoped that one day I would have one.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I was in university then, and no time and no money. So eventually, I think I started in about maybe '83 on it. Got bored with watching television and decided I should get at that, and I think we finished it in about '88.
That sounds right.
Yeah, a lot of work, and spent a lot of time on the body.
So it's, well, I guess you could give us a rundown of the drivetrain in it.
Yeah, it's got at first I had a LT1 370 horse 350 in it, turbo 400, Ford 9-inch. It's always had the same gear set, 275 Posi, 28 spline. I found that engine was a little bit tough to run on regular gas, and eventually had the opportunity to put a fuel injected small block Chevy in it, 350, just throttle body fuel injection, and I didn't have to start it 6 times to get it out of the garage then. Runs very nice. Nice brown exhaust tips all the time, and
Yeah, it runs clean. So
yeah.
that first 350 is the same 350 that I put in my truck first.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It had 202 heads in it, but I put a bigger chamber head on it later.
Right.
That helped quite a bit. Yeah, and I actually traded the muffler shop guy those heads for putting the dual exhaust on the 34.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so there was a number of improvements I added after this 41 was on the road. It was a little tough to stop, so I ended up putting power brakes on it after the fact, and then I found too, black gets pretty warm when you want to drive it in the summer, so I ended up putting vintage air system in it, and great improvement too.
Yeah, you almost need that.
Oh yeah. You do need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not so bad with the cowl vent, but you have to be moving.
Yeah, going down the highway with the cowl vent and the rear slider, it's pretty good, but yeah, AC just around town and out of just great. Yeah.
So then, and I guess I don't know this distinction. The 41 never came with the slider. That was like a big truck cab, was it not?
Yeah, I think, well, all the big trucks I believe had it. And the advantage of using a big truck cab, they had the under-seat fuel tank. So I ended up with having 2 fuel tanks with this truck, which is also nice. And yeah, the rear slider, I think the kits you buy now are only slider kits though, it seems to me, but yeah, really nice to have that full airflow right through the cab.
Right.
Going down the road.
And I guess we never really discussed what kind of condition it was in when you found it.
Well, it was pretty rough. I had a guy help me. I had stored the box at, we had an airport hangar, and one of the crop duster guys helped me load it there, and he couldn't believe I was going to try to make something out of that piece of junk.
So a little bit of body work then.
Yeah, it had no floor in it, and it looked pretty rough when he helped me load it. But yeah, we got there. Yeah, I learned a lot about body work working on that truck.
Yeah.
It amazed me how eventually your hand could tell what was good and what wasn't.
Yeah, you can tell more with your hand than your eye.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could feel, high spots, low spots, but yeah.
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 Still not a fan of body work over here either.
Yeah.
But
That's a big part of the job for sure.
yeah. So you had this on the road then for what, 30?
I think 33 years or so, yeah.
And
Then there was an event.
yeah, then you had an event. So
Yeah.
do you want to talk about that?
Nice sunny day in May. Heading out to the lake with it, thinking how wonderful it was that the AC was working and I didn't have to charge it. Well, that was, I think, primarily because I got rid of that pancake compressor from GM, put a Sandon type
Yeah.
compressor on there. Anyway, a little bit into the drive, I noticed a farmer was about to back across the road from his field into his yard, right across the highway 600. He backed up about 8 feet, stopped, and I thought, oh, he saw me. And I looked down, I'm doing 100 clicks. And then he just pinned it and nailed me right behind the driver's door, knocked me into the ditch, totaled the truck off, and I was bruised up a bit, but there was no blood coming out anyway. So
Yeah, you were very lucky.
Yeah.
The rear bumper of the truck kind of just tagged just behind the driver's door. So it kind of pushed that
Yeah.
all in that way.
And it was enough of an impact that the front bumper actually kinked the grill in a little bit. And, it's that far away. So,
Yeah.
and of course the seat pushed and destroyed the passenger door, pushed over and destroyed the passenger door. So, yeah.
But you pulled through, and
Pulled through and then,
steel can be replaced.
yeah. And
So I had the year prior, I believe, pulled a 47 2-ton out of the bush. We could steal some parts off of, and then I don't know if you remember us. I went and waded through that slough. There's found.
yeah, I have some pictures of that.
Yeah, I knew from sledding in the area, I had known where there was a 40 coupe that's actually still there, but it's upside.
40 sedan, wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure it is a sedan, right?
Yeah.
Two-door sedan. It's upside down in this slough, and it's buried like halfway up the doors, basically in the mud. And all that was sticking out of the water was basically the frame. So,
And the first time we saw it, it was on the edge. It was not in the water,
right.
but it was in the mud. And we thought, well, we'll just zip out there and get that frame.
Yeah.
But no. It was in
So
the
we
middle
had to
of it.
wait for things to freeze over, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And
Froze over, went out there in the winter, and zip disked it off, and
yeah, and luckily there was not enough snow that we could actually get in there with a truck and a trailer
yeah.
and get that frame out of there. So
Yeah, so that was my COVID project that kept me sane through COVID, rebuilding the truck, and cut the back off that 2-ton,
yep.
back of the cab, just on that seam, and cut it about where your heel is.
Yep.
Stitched that all in.
Had to porta power the cab a little bit, did we not?
Yeah, I had to put the diagonal in on the driver's door and stretch it a bit to get the doors to fit properly. And a friend of mine in Saskatoon found me a driver's door, and we had a good passenger door
That's
here.
right, yeah.
One cab corner. Rebuilt the front of the box. It was bent pretty good. Yeah, and for the most part, the box wasn't too bad. And fenders were kinked up. Bent one axle, the driver's side axle. Bent the rim.
You had to find replacement
Center
rims.
line actually changed hands in the meantime.
They're not quite the same, but
Not
they
quite
are.
the same, but good enough, yeah.
Yeah.
The dish is slightly different, but
Yeah.
no one would notice that. So, of course, I had to buy 2 instead of 1, but
Yeah.
yeah, not a problem. It was good to be able to get that and match up the front wheels again. And I like the center lines on there.
Yeah, it's a good look for the truck.
Yeah. And this time I went with a much plainer interior. I had a fancy automotive type headliner before with the bands and so on, and of course door panels, and I like the utility look of the old truck with just the metal door panels, and
Yeah, I like that too.
yeah, modified the seat a little bit, made it a little bit lower, and of course that meant the back had to be extended, but a fellow in Lloyd did a really good job in building the seat for me, and
Yeah, it looks great.
yeah,
Like
very
the color
comfortable.
choice, and
Yeah,
he did a good job on the roof console there.
yeah, shortened up the roof console, went with a cardboard headliner that the kit you can buy, and yeah.
Yeah. No, it
Came
turned out.
together actually pretty fast. I think I had it back on the road in just over 12 months, closer to 13, I guess. And
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
So that's really good for a rebuild.
Yeah. I worked a couple hours every day and maybe maybe 10 hours on a weekend altogether. Bought a shrinker stretcher from Princess Auto and learned how to move metal a bit, and wished at that time I had an English wheel, but now I do.
Yeah.
And yeah, it came together pretty good. It took a little time to learn how to run the shrinker stretcher to get things the way you wanted them, but I rebuilt all the edges of the fenders with that, and you know, it's all little pieces welded together basically. I had made the mistake of putting 3/8 tubing on the fender liner or fender lip, thinking that was a good idea to reinforce it. Well, now all that does is hold the dirt and rust it out.
That was on
along
the
edge.
first rebuild.
The first rebuild,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so smartened up, didn't do that this time, and it stays a lot cleaner. And
Yeah. Doesn't hold dirt, doesn't hold moisture.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm a lot better at body work than I was before, and it went way faster.
Yeah. No, for sure. So I think
Did everything in the one little single car garage, and yeah, just blow it out with the backpack blower and paint it in there and everything. So
no, it turned out great. Yeah.
yeah.
Looks really good. Yeah, so that's obviously the cars we're talking about behind us, the 41 and the 34. I wanted to talk a little bit about, you know, hot rod runs and that sort of thing. Like, a lot of that seems to be going away. So I want to talk about, say, what your favorite hot rod run was and why.
Well, favorite run, hands down, would have been the river run west of Edmonton there.
I would have to agree.
Yeah, it was small enough that it was eventually like a family reunion, and like-minded people coming together, one fire, everybody camping there. The guys that put it on just did an excellent job. They would hire some kind of a band for the Friday night, I think it was, band or
Friday, yeah, I can't remember if it's
Yeah.
the Friday or the Saturday.
have a meal on Saturday, often karaoke or something, and there was actually some good singers, believe it or not.
Yeah,
And yeah, then they had these little old, I think they were mail delivery carts that they would come around on Saturday morning, or was it Sunday morning? I can't remember now.
I think it was Saturday.
Yeah, delivering coffee and donuts to all the campers.
Yeah, yeah.
I said to them, you know, if I can't think of a single thing you could do to make this better.
I'm quite sad that run is no longer on as well, because
Yeah.
you don't see anything like that anymore. You know, I don't mind going to car shows, but that type of, say, I like to call it a hot rod reunion, that's getting harder and harder to find, because
Yeah. A close second is the run to the Oasis put on by the Majestics Car Club in Moose Jaw. We've been to that a number of years now, and also great event, great bunch of guys. They throw in a poker run and often go to some interesting place around in the area. You know, whether it's some guy's toy garage or rumpus room decorated in car memorabilia, or I think one year we went to the museum there. There's another fellow that has a real collection of cars outside of Moose Jaw. But yeah, also a great event.
Yeah, I think it honestly is camping and hot rodding combined. Nobody's really there for a show. Nobody's looking for a prize.
Yeah.
It's more of a reunion. You know, everyone's just hanging out for the whole weekend. They feed you.
It seems like the cars are almost a smaller part of it now, but of course you enjoy the drive, going there in your street rod and just using the vehicle and
Yeah, and I think that's part of what made that river run so good, is because it was on an acreage where everyone camped in a big circle around a central fire pit.
yeah,
And everyone talked about the cars, but you were just there to hang out with other like-minded people, really.
but you excuse me, you could gain some knowledge by talking with some of those incredible builders, guys that would fabricate body parts, fabricate the linkages for a convertible top, amazing, really,
Yeah.
Like, I talked to one guy, well, at first you make it out of cardboard, then you make it out of wood, and if it works with wood, it's a little stiffer, you might have to modify it again a little bit, but then you make it out of metal, and then you've got it.
Yeah.
Complicated.
Yeah, lengthy process, but I find that
Yeah. Cardboard aided design,
yeah,
CAD.
AutoCAD, yeah. Cardboard assisted design. Yeah.
Cardboard assisted
I
design.
use that quite often.
For sure.
How have you seen hot rodding culture change over the years? Or has it?
Well, everybody's getting older, for sure, and I think there's getting to be less and less people with mindset of building cars. Of course, it's also very expensive now.
Almost.
Many things I've noticed have doubled or quadrupled since I built this the first time.
Yeah.
I think I paid $800 US for the grill the first time. The second time, or like now, I notice the grills are 1680 or something like that, or
US.
US.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
yeah. And you can get most of the parts still, I think, but the fella that built the good cab corners has passed away. The ones you get now are not, they have the general shape, but
They still have to modify them
you
pretty
have to
heavily to make
modify
them
it
work.
heavily to make it fit, especially if you're not replacing both sides. They don't look the same, but at least it's a curved piece of metal.
Yeah, a compound curve's not easy to make, for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
No offense to the builder,
no, for sure not.
and thanks for what you do make. But
Yeah, you can't buy much for this
no,
era of stuff.
no.
Really, anything before 1955 or 60.
There's less people involved in that business now too. Like George Moyer's business is closed up now, and that was a source for a lot of parts.
Yeah, I have concerns for that as well, but it seems like it's such a niche market now because you think about the iron that's laying around the country, it's pretty well picked over.
Yeah,
So I can't imagine there's a lot of guys, where would you find a 4041 pickup to start building a new one? And there can't be many people doing that.
no.
So
There's the odd one you can see for sale in the U.S., but
completed trucks.
completed trucks,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, or very bad. I don't even want to use the survivors, but
Yeah.
they're the word survivor. A lot of them are pretty rough that are for sale. Yeah.
So I guess speaking about new builds, I mean, obviously there are people building vehicles. It's just not necessarily what we would consider hot rods.
Right.
Do you have any advice for somebody starting out or wanting to build a vehicle? Anything you learned over the years that might help them stay motivated or anything like
Well,
that?
some of the cars you get now, you got less modifying to do. there's a lot of suspension systems that you can buy and put on, not cheap, but all the engineering is done, and it's going to, greatly improve the handling and braking and so on of the vehicle. So that makes it a lot easier. Modern engines, fuel efficient. You can get overdrive transmissions now, and makes it a lot easier, a lot more desirable end result. You can have the old look and a modern drivetrain. It makes the vehicle, in my mind, much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
If you want to drive it,
Which we do.
Yeah, which we do.
Yeah. Yeah. No trailer queens here.
That's the enjoyment, is driving them and letting people see them and
You build it to enjoy it and use it, not to hang it
that's
on the
what I
wall.
do, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. It's a piece of furniture otherwise, and you need a lot of room for furniture if that's what you're going to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to say before we go?
Well, I've actually started on gathering parts for another project. I have, in rebuilding this, ended up with another big truck cab. Had a pretty good box. I looked at it yesterday again, and it's certainly usable. It's got a kind of a major bend on the driver's side, but I think I can straighten that out. And you can buy a tailgate.
Right.
You can buy a box front. Although the box front, I think I can fix it.
You have fenders. And
I bought. It's kind of funny how this went. I remember saying to you, if we had a hood, we could build another truck, because we have
Pretty well,
a cab, a box. You can buy glass fenders,
You can buy running boards.
buy running boards.
We have a grill.
Yeah, have a grill. Got a grill that's actually online on George Moyer's sale.
His auction. Yeah.
Yeah. You actually told me that auction was happening, and I didn't want to see somebody give George only $250 for it. So I ended up getting that. So I thought, well, I'll just put on Kijiji. I'll see if I can get a hood. Well, lo and behold, I had a call. I said to him, wow, you called my bluff. And he laughed. He knew what I meant. Now I have to build a truck, because he had front fenders as well. So I have to buy all the trim. There's no trim on anything. But it is all available. But pretty much every piece you look at is $400 US or thereabouts. But it is what it is.
And it is a 40, correct?
It is a 40. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and
less trim then.
And the tailgates you buy are actually the reproduction ones are actually 40. They have the Ford V8 symbol. So that's Yeah, and
we have enough odds and ends. I think I still have some pieces.
Yeah.
I know I've got all the lettering for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
didn't know you had the lettering. I checked, and I've got all the inner and outer door handles I need. The glove box cover. The cab is pretty much complete. Of course, big trucks get beat pretty bad.
Yeah, they were used as trucks.
They were used as trucks, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's fixable for sure. That'll be most of the work, is the cab. The driver's door is, hopefully I can get it knocked out. It's got a fairly big outer skin dent in it.
Yeah. I do believe I know where another cab is too if we need, but
Yeah.
yeah. So starting another project, we've got Grill, hood, front fenders. You have 1 or 2 rear fenders?
I don't have any rear fenders.
No rear fenders.
Yeah. But you can buy pretty good glass ones.
Yeah, the Westcott fenders are pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not cheap, but I think they're $700
or 800.
or 800 US a
Yeah.
piece. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing about this hobby is cheap.
No.
And then powertrain, you're thinking LS?
I'm thinking LS with overdrive, Ford 9-inch again. I do have another housing, so
Right.
clean that up, and I've got a few center sections as well. None of them posy, but keep an eye out for that, I guess.
Yeah. And they're not too bad either if you had to buy a center section.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I should mention too that this truck has been all over.
Right.
You and I made a run out to Tofino,
Yeah, that was a week after I finished my truck.
right?
I drove basically an hour north to Lloyd to check the fuel mileage and kind of shake it down. And then the next weekend we took off for the west coast of Canada,
Yeah,
which I think ended up being around 26 or 700 kilometers we did.
yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Did a loop through BC all the way to the west side, as far as you can go west in Canada and back.
yeah. Have to make a run to the east coast now.
It is on my mind. I got to get mine reliable enough to do that now. I've kind
Yeah.
of gone too far towards race car for that to be possible at the moment.
We also ran this down to the Mount Rushmore, the Black Hills, and I thought we're so close to Nebraska here. We went to a little town south there called Hot Springs, and really enjoyed that little town. And Nebraska isn't that much further south, so we thought, well, better make a run down and have a picture with the Nebraska sign.
Right, yeah.
And so we did that just over the border there. And what kind of spurred that on too is we had the gathering on the long weekend in September in Saskatoon. The long weekend, and then the next weekend they were having their 50th anniversary. That's the Kingsman in Saskatoon. So we thought, well, we wanted to go to both. Why not head down to the Black Hills in between, and kind of decided there and then to do that, and really enjoyed that trip. It was great. I like the interaction you get with people quite often at service stations or whatever. And
Yeah.
had this rancher pull up in a beat up Suzuki car with one seat in it, driver's seat, full of junk. He pulled up beside me and got out, and he says, I don't like to drive the new ones either.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was telling me how his son had a lifted F-350 that he was paying a mortgage on, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah,
No,
there's
that's
something to that too. He knew all about that Suzuki. Fuel injected. It sounded like he'd been everywhere in it. And yeah, got to get a kick out of that. Yeah.
I will agree. That's one of the nicer things about hot rodding and road tripping vehicles like this is there's
Yeah.
always
People
a
approach
conversation.
you. Yeah, people
there's always a
approach you.
conversation to be had.
Yeah.
People are polite usually, and yeah.
One thing that's interesting too is that on our last little run to Moose Jaw, you had the 64 Biscayne, and we stopped in Wilkie there, and quite a few talked to you about it. They could relate to that car because they had one, or
they grew up in one,
grew
or
up
whatever
in
it was,
one,
yeah.
or whatever. My guys are all gone now.
Yeah, I will.
Unfortunately, on both of them. I used to have people come and have those conversations. Oh, I remember so-and-so, had one of these, or the elevator agent had one of these.
Yeah, I've only ever had one conversation like that about my 40.
Yeah.
There's an old guy said that when he was 14, he delivered fuel in one.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually, my dad tried to convince me to paint that a navy blue because I think it was an elevator agent had one. And he thought it was beautiful, and he said in that time, people with jobs like that were the only ones that had any money to buy something. And also, in 41, they tell me that you had to have a business and you had to make an application to buy a 41 because the war was on and most of the production was going to war.
Yes, yeah, that's part of the reason why they're so rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't just go out and buy one.
No, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, but that is one nice thing about that 64 too, though, is it is relatable. So you do get a lot more people coming up. I have noticed for sure that, I mean, people appreciate the 40, 41 for sure for what they are. It's a nice truck, but you don't get those type of conversations that.
No, those fellas are, if they're still around, they're in a chair somewhere, and yeah, unfortunately, but the way it is, yeah.
Yes, they're 80, 85 years old. So. Yeah. That's an old timer. If you can remember one coming off the lot, you're probably in a home.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
still cool to see them on the road, that's for sure.
It sure is, yeah.
Well, I feel like we can probably wrap this up here unless you have something else to add.
Not really much else I can think about.
Building a new one, so we'll maybe have some footage or pictures of that as the things progress.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. Do a little better job documenting this time. I documented all the repairs last time. Every work session I'd take a picture of what I did pretty much. And
yeah, I tried to do that. I wish I would have filmed it. So, but it takes time.
It does take time, yeah.
When you get into a rhythm of building something, you don't really want to stop and be taking videos and pictures all the time. Sometimes you just want to get something done.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
I found this time too, and that's advice. The first time I built, well, on both builds, I did a lot of thinking and you end up staring at it a lot. And this time, as soon as I started staring at it, I got out of there.
It's time to go home. I know the same reason, or the same thing too. You start thinking about the project as a whole and the direction you want to go, and you almost get overwhelmed.
It's a bit overwhelming.
And you just sit there and you stare at it.
Yeah. It's better to come in fresh with the plan of, okay, I'm going to get this done.
Yeah.
Do that. And if you're not fatigued, carry on to something else. But if you are fatigued and you notice yourself staring, get out of there.
Yeah. No, I found that for sure. You have to have a plan and know what you're doing before you go to work on it.
Yeah.
And I found that it's easier to think about the car in different systems as well too. Like you've got your brake system and your fuel system.
Yeah.
Every individual little system all comes together to build a car. You don't think about the car, you think about the systems. So today I'm working on this portion of the brakes or whatever. And then when you get that done, if you still have energy, well, then I'm going to move on to this part of the brakes or the fuel system.
I think that's why a lot of projects, that were started end up being for sale, because the owner just feels completely overwhelmed where he takes it all apart and then it's really overwhelming.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen that happen a few times. Yeah, so I guess the important thing to take from that is not to get discouraged. Don't think about the whole project and just focus on the little things.
Little things at a time, and you'll get through it.
And the other thing I tell people too is 20 minutes a day. Like if all you can do is 20 minutes a day, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters, yeah.
If you just do one little thing,
Yeah.
those little things add up.
You'll
and it will
notice your
get done.
progress and you'll be happy with it. And yeah.
Eventually, if you are discouraged, if you do that 20 minutes, eventually you'll get to a point where you kind of get reinvigorated.
Enthusiastic about it. Yeah.
You want to get after it again. So then you really start working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
well, anyway, I appreciate you sitting down with me today. And obviously, we'll have to do this again in the future. Maybe there'll be a third vehicle in here. And
Yeah.
we should try and document at least some of the progress on this next one, because I also did a horrible job of that on my 40. So,
Yeah, I've started taking pictures of the pieces as they're coming together, you know,
yeah.
where you're getting this piece from or that piece. And yeah.
Yeah, it's good to have that history and that documentation.
The only step I've made so far is going through the suppliers and making a list of all the things I need. And it's a bit frightening, that total at the bottom.
You're not actually supposed to do that.
Yeah.
You don't ever total those bills up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks again, and I guess we'll see you on the next one.
You bet.
Custom. Thanks for watching.